Golden State Warriors fans, how we doing? Dub Nation, how we doing? Welcome to C-Train Station and welcome back to those subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. This is what I want to do. Like with my life, I love to talk sports. I love to talk Bay Area sports, but specifically Golden State Warriors. And your subscription and your guys' support helps me to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, let's get to it though. In the last video, we talked a little bit about how the Warriors, some targets for the Warriors trade exception. The Warriors have it max like an $8.7 million trade exception that they can attach draft capital to and trade for a player. I talked about a few players, right? We went over that. Right now, let's talk about a few under the radar targets, players that the Warriors could sign for what's looking for like the vet minimum. So here are a few names that I think are under the radar that would fit with the Warriors, a few vet minimum names, and then a mid-level exception name, and then one more trade exception target. Let's go for it. The first one, I think, and all these players I believe would really thrive. I scoured the league, of course. I always scour the league. Always scouring. These are some players that I think would really fit in the Warriors system. I think that they would have a very big impact with either their value schematically, what look they give, or their attributes. First one, Gershon Yabusele. And I love this play. He played last for the Philadelphia 76ers, but he was on France's Olympic team. He was a dude who dunked all over LeBron James. I love Yabusele's potential fit on the Warriors. Now, I believe he signed a one-year deal last season with the 76ers, and it was at the vet minimum. He had a good year. He had a really good year. I don't know how much more than the vet minimum he's going to get. He would be a player who is an absolute, he would be a steal and a beast with the Warriors with their lowest tendered offer, with their vet minimum, excuse me. So I believe that Yabusele would be a steal for the vet minimum. I don't know. I think that he has elevated himself, but we'll see. I don't know what the market's going to be with him, but I think that if he really wants to elevate his value, sort of like he did with the 76ers, you know, a prove-it deal or a deal at the vet minimum with the Warriors, he just fits so well. He can play the 4 or 5. He's only like 6'8", about 250. So he's burly, he's a bruiser, but he's energy and toughness combined with skill. He's a skilled big man. He's a skilled forward. We'll just call him a big forward, but he would definitely play some center in Steve Kerr's lineup. The Warriors do not have a player like Yabusele right now I'll just put it like this. If Draymond goes down, who's going to be the next up? It'll be Jonathan Kuminga, honestly, right? The Warriors didn't do too well last season when that happened, but that's beyond the point. Long term, Yabusele provides a lot of the function that Draymond Green provides, which would really give the Warriors some insurance should Draymond go down. Does Yabusele is almost like, to me, he plays like a better Eric Paschall, but actually plays defense. You remember Eric Paschall on the Warriors? I believe that he's a little bit bigger, burlier. He's a bruiser in that vein, but he's straight up better. So it's like if you were to combine almost TJD, Trace Jackson Davis's size, combined with Paschall's skills, Eric Paschall's skills, then I think that you sort of have more of Yabusele. But he's tough, man. He's physical. He's tough. He sets good screens. I believe he's a 38% three-point shooter. Yabusele checks all the boxes and would just be such a rugged player to insert. Yabusele would be the best insurance for Draymond Green. If the Warriors care about Draymond Green, they'll get Gershon Yabusele because He can do, because I believe that Yabusele can play Draymond Green's position scheme-wise for the Warriors, and the Warriors will lose tons, but I still believe they can be a net positive team in the short run, at least, with Yabusele playing in Draymond Green's stead. And how many players can you say that about, right? I'm talking about a vet minimum player. The Warriors need to get on this, though. They need to work, and I'll show you. The cool thing is, I really tie a bow on this whole video, and it'll be at the end when I'll give you like what a Warriors lineup and roster would look like just by making it minimal effort, honestly, on the Warriors end. But you need to make the effort. So look, when low key, Yabusele has range, shooting 38% of his threes. He's rugged, energetic. He's bigger. He sets screens. Sign me up. Big Yabusele fan. And I think that he would do wonders. I think that he would add the bruiser that David West was without the skill, really. David West had such a high basketball IQ, right? So, but a lot, he provides some of what D West did bring. Next one. This is going to be sort of short because I don't know. This is going to be short but sweet. Ben Simmons. What do we think? Yay or nay? Hey, give me a thumbs up. Give me a yay in the comments or a nay in the comments. Ben Simmons to the Warriors. That's sort of what I want to know here. I love Ben Simmons' potential fit with the Warriors. He's sort of everything that they need on the squad. He provides height, defense, unselfishness, rebounding. He can still D up. Like I said, he's a great passer. He can handle the ball. He can set screens. But here's the thing. I just don't think that he's a Steph, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond guy. I don't think that those three players, the stars on the Warriors, want Ben Simmons on the squad. I just don't. Why do I think that? For the reasons why, like that Ben Simmons has sometimes been called like soft and sometimes a diva. I just don't think that the Warriors want to deal with that drama. However, I'm talking. The goal of this video was under the radar signings that could thrive on the Warriors, and I really think that Ben Simmons could be. It's like could Ben Simmons be horrific on the Warriors? Could Ben Simmons potentially be one of the missing keys to another Warriors run? Yes. So I think that the answer to that, and I'm not going to go on, is see what Steph have to say. But oh my gosh, if those guys sign on, then get Ben Simmons on the squad. Get him in the system. Get him running around with the ball. Get him playing defense. He could really unlock a lot of things with the Warriors, specifically shot making. He could free up Draymond Green a little bit on defense as well. I like what Ben Simmons has to offer. There's a lot of Warriors fans out there, a lot of Dub Nation likes Jaren Jackson, right? Now, Ben Simmons isn't really anything necessarily like Jaren Jackson, but wait, just stop. He gives a look of a tall defender that Jaren Jackson also gives. And he can handle the ball like Jaren Jackson is now available. So I get it. Everything's different except for that. It gives them a taller defensive look who could probably finish around the basket if he just with dunks, right? The Warriors might want to think about taking a flyer on Ben Simmons. Now, with the mid-level exception, I believe that the Warriors have a $5.7 million veterans mid-level. So both of those guys, okay, one more guy. Let's go. One more guy for the vet minimum. Another guy who I would love is D'Anthony Melton. I think that I was crushed when he tore his ACL. I was crushed when he got traded. I think that D'Anthony Melton could have just such, I think that the second time around could really be the charm for D'Anthony Melton. I really hope that he comes back to the Warriors. And with that said, I wouldn't even think about starting D'Anthony Melton. I would think of this as I want to give D'Anthony Melton the vet minimum, but really guarantee a spot and a working spot on the roster. Why? Because it worked last season, right? Here's what I think, though. I don't think D'Anthony Melton can be playing anywhere near the minutes that you all that most Warriors fans think that he should be playing. I think he should be playing spot minutes, 12 to 15 minutes nightly. That's about it until further notice, until he's all healed up, gets in form, and shows that he can consistently play. But that's perfect, especially for what Melton does. Provides a little bit of range, ball handling abilities, but he can play defense like a madman. DeAnthony Melton, I would love to see on the Golden State Warriors for the vet minimum. Mid-level exception, though, we've moved on. $5.7 million mid-level exception that the Warriors should have to offer free agents. I want that to go to, somebody commented on this. I like that comment, by the way. This is running off that. Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez, if he would take a hometown discount, come for the veterans mid-level exception, I would love him on the Golden State Warriors. He checks almost all the boxes for a starting caliber center big man for the Warriors. He fills that, to me, he fills that, he fills that Zaza floor, Bogut ceiling mold of a starting center. Kerr never plays his traditional centers more than 24 minutes a game, which would be the exact sweet spot for Brook Lopez. Yo, Brook Lopez averaged friggin' like 30 plus minutes a game last season. He would start for the Warriors, guaranteed starting spot. That's no problem. But look, Brook, we're just going to save your 37-year-old body and only play you 20 to 25 minutes a game. That is a win-win for Brook Lopez, the Golden State Warriors, and a win-win-win, right, for the Bay Area as well, because Brook went to Stanford from Fresno, I believe, or whatnot. He comes home, hopefully wins a championship next season. We love Brook Lopez here at the veterans mid-level exception. Really love it. I mean, at 24 minutes per game, because Brook Lopez does still have it. He's not great, but he still has it. He could still be a defensive presence, and that's saying a lot. He can bang down low, doesn't get that many rebounds, but he can bang down low, set some screens, and he still provides a decent defensive presence. Think, hopefully, older Andrew Bogut style. I love it. I love it. Okay, tying a bow on that, we got for the vet minimum, we got Melton, Simmons, and Yabusele, and then for the mid-level exception, we have Brook Lopez, of course, asterisk by Ben Simmons, because who knows? Who knows where he's at, honestly? Who knows how he wants to commit? But he does fit on paper. Here's one more I'll give you. Here's one more prospect, because in between the last video and now, I believe the Orlando Magic and Memphis Grizzlies made a huge trade. Desmond Bane is on his way to Orlando, right? With a bevy of draft picks essentially going to the Grizzlies. Now, a lot of people are saying there's lots of talk around the league, but I believe, from my mind, that because we talked about Jaren Jackson Jr. potentially being available, here's a more prudent approach, and then I'm going to give a more measured approach, and also I'll give you what the final roster looks like. So this will verify that this measured approach can give you a seriously contending team. A prospect that I would love the Warriors to trade for with their $8.7 million exception. We're even back to that. We're back to last video. Santi Aldama. He's 7 foot plus, forward, and he played for the Grizzlies last season. I really like what he would have to offer to the Warriors. And I think that the Warriors exception, a first-round draft pick, and a future second-round draft pick get the job done for Santi Aldama. I really think that gets the job done. I think that that draft capital and a little bit of flexibility that Aldama can be had, and that is just, he solves a lot of problems. He's a 7-footer with range who isn't afraid to mix it up down low, but he's still improving his game. He's a good defender. He's a decent to good defender with the potential to be very good. He's got quick hands on defense. He's got good positioning. He can set screens. He has range. And again, he isn't afraid to mix it up. He's got some fire off the bench, and he would know his role. And if the Warriors could sign Aldama to something like a 4-year, $44 million contract. I think that's what Steph signed one time, actually. 4 years, 44. 8.7 up front because that's the max that he can be traded for, but then goes on to like 12 and then 14 and 16 or whatever the years do. Less money now up front, more money in backloaded, and I love that. He's a really intriguing player. The Warriors, I think, for a long time, they've been searching for some of those bigs who can make an impact, who can play in the Warriors system. Ooh, this is really key. This is very key. I think that the Warriors can get not a lot of, but they can get some of the schematic looks with Santi Aldama that they want to get with Kristaps Porzingis. Both are incredibly tall players with some range and talent and some skill, fairly mobile as well. So I believe that for a bargain, you can get the bench version of a more forward version of Kristaps, but can offer you some good looks. And for some people that are like, nah, he duplicates post, Santi Aldama's nothing like post. Aldama can play almost like a 3-4-5. He can handle the ball a little bit. He's more mobile than post. He's a smaller guy. He's skinnier, right? But gosh, he's got great talent, great IQ. He would be just an awesome. For the exception, future first rounders and second rounder, to get that value off the bench, think like we're hoping that he play like a Bjelica, but better, honestly. Definitely. He could play that off the bench for the Warriors. So part of continuously improving, if you're the Warriors, especially, did I trade Jonathan Kuminga in this one? No, I didn't. Because I think that realistically, the Warriors are trending to keep Jonathan Kuminga, but anything can happen, right? But I think the Warriors are trending to keep Kuminga right now. So look, just look at this. Look at this lineup. Look at this roster that we've constructed right here. And I did not sign, in my mock roster, I did not sign Ben Simmons. But think about this, seriously. Steph is your starting lineup, and the starting lineup this is just how it has to be if Jonathan Kuminga is there, honestly, in my opinion. Starting lineup, Steph, Jimmy, Kuminga, Draymond Green, Brook Lopez. That is a classic starting five that I think will be plus, that I think will win so many matchups. A great starting five. But check out this bench. Brandon Pajensky, D'Anthony Melton, Santi Aldama, Gershon Yabusele, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Quentin Post, and then at the very GP2 re-signed at the minimum, and Looney re-signed at the minimum. Then you have fighting for that very last roster spot, the likes of Guy Santos, Trace Jackson Davis, fighting for that one roster spot. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Look at how deep the Warriors are with some thoughtful additions, allocating money properly. In this line, I'm going to do this one more time. Steph, Jimmy, JK, Dray, Lopez, Pods, Melton, Aldama, Yabusele, Buddy, Moody, Post, GP2, and Looney. Look, if the Warriors have that as a roster, that is insanely deep. That's one of the deepest rosters they've had, since I can remember. That roster combines so many looks and aspects that Kerr loves. And also, it gives Jonathan Kuminga a starting spot and some wiggle room because there's so much depth and so much firepower on the bench. When you are going from Jonathan Kuminga to Santi Aldama to Gershon Yabusele, and you're not going from Jonathan Kuminga to like a Kevin Knox or Braxton Key, you're really starting to look at a roster that can compete. And I want to say a couple other things with this roster. They compete night in, night out. They're versatile, high IQ. But then with this, when you allocate the money just like this, the Warriors have successfully appropriated their money to all of the successful slots, right? Aldama is at the right contract slot. Looney and GP2 now are at the veteran minimums, where they should be. The only slot that's questionable is Jonathan Kuminga's, and that's perfect. That's exactly where you want it to be, precisely where you want it. That roster competes, and that roster is, you're asking Yabusele to give you a season sort of. You're trying to get Melton back up, but like, I'm not pulling teeth here. It's not some crazy trade for a player that isn't available, right? The Memphis Grizzlies have shown that they've made some moves. Santi Aldama's gettable. I suggest that the Warriors do that more or less right now, but that's fine. I love the prospects that the Warriors have, but here's what I don't love. The Warriors, I think the Warriors can only have one Guy Santos. They can't have Guy and Knox and Braxton Key, okay? Like they can't, and so like the Warriors can only have one Trace Jackson Davis if he even makes that squad, right? They can't have TJD mixing it up with Looney. The quality isn't there. The depth isn't there. Like, so you're going from TJD and Looney, from bouncing those guys now. Now they're at the end of your roster, and you're talking about Brook Lopez, a seasoned veteran, an ex-All-Star, right? You're talking about Quentin Post, who's really a surging player right now. So I love where these measured moves put the Warriors, and that's what I got. That's what I got. So I love it. But it all starts with allocating the appropriate money to the players. So I'll tell you what the Warriors can't do. The Warriors can't re-sign. Gary Payton made $8 million last season. That can't happen. Kayvon Looney, whatever he made last season, those players can only make the minimum because the mid-level must be allocated to a player who hopefully takes a discount, like a Brook Lopez. I love it. I love it. What do you, you know what? Down low, I don't even have anything. If there's one player, in the comments, you comment on the video if you want. Look for I'll put some like related videos in the description section. Also, I'm going to start, instead of like doing these right in the comments and stuff, I'm going to start doing posts because YouTube has that post option. I'll start doing posts, and those will be more poll questions. Yes, some cool, maybe a quiz or two, but like that will be more catered toward interaction. And I'll probably start to ask fewer questions for you, prompts for you to do in the comments, and just have you comment whatever the heck you want. You know what I'm saying? So we may do a combination of both. We're having fun at C-Train Station. And you're invited for the whole ride. And it's going to be a long and fun one. So, of course, for your Golden State Warriors content, like, subscribe, follow, and I'll see you next time at C-Train Station. Have a great one.